Hey everybody, Joe here. I'm back again with a little retrospective on the Nintendo Game Boy. As I'm sure you already know, the Nintendo Game Boy originally came out in 1989, and its launch games included tennis, baseball, alleyway, Super Mario Land, and of course Tetris. Tetris is what sold the darn thing. Housewives, businessmen, troops overseas, everybody had a Game Boy. And for good reason. To this day, the Game Boy products, family of products, that includes the Pocket and the Game Boy Color, are the third best selling system of all time. But here I'm talking about the original, the classic. Some of you may call it the brick, the original Game Boy system. Nowadays you see this thing and it's kind of bulky, it's very primitive looking, with the little mono speaker, the 2-inch screen, the monochrome screen at that, with the dot matrix style of graphics. And it seems very limited and all, but when it came out, this was like the greatest thing. Its simplicity is what sold it over its competitors, the Game Gear and the Turbo Express. Both of those ate batteries like candy and didn't have the market support. It cost too much. I mean, this was $100 when it came out. Got Tetris, start playing right away, because it came with the batteries too, and you can't get much simpler than that. And those launch games, I mean, Super Mario Land, I think to this day had some of the best music that this thing ever had on it. Very memorable, very fun. I mean, it's a very short game and the graphics are very tiny, nondescript, but that's also kind of par for the course with the early Game Boy titles. You ever see that Batman based on the Keaton film? That game? Yeah, those graphics look like hell. You can almost say, what graphics? I mean, that's how bad they were. But that's, it was kind of par for the course when this thing first came out. It feels like a lot of companies really did. They tried, but they really didn't know what to do with it yet. A lot of games had really tiny, nondescript characters and whatnot, and it really took a while for them to really know what they were doing. By like 91, 92, Nintendo, they mastered it, and games like Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters, Metroid 2 Return of Samus, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and of course Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins. Those 4 games, pretty much bang, 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 bang over the course of 2 years. And really, they showed what this thing could really do. And surprisingly, it's a lot. Yeah, when, games moving fast, the backgrounds blur and whatnot. And, yeah, that's, not very cool. I mean, it does make things kind of hard to see sometimes, but when you think of, like, the games that came out for a lot of times, there were really addictive games like Dr. Mario, Tetris. Slew of puzzle games came out on this. Great version of Kix, if you ever played that one. I know that was actually an arcade puzzle game that came out like in the earliest 80s and found its way onto here. That's actually a really, really cool game. Addictive as all hell, not easy at all. But, it's one of those things where you want to play it, you just get hooked into it. And a lot of games like that were brought out to the Game Boy. Because I think puzzle games keep you playing having them on the go. It's great mix. Like I said, some people might think seems very primitive now, especially with this kind of bulky shape. I mean, it's nicknamed the brick because it's kind of heavy and kind of bulky. But honestly, this bulky shape, I find it a lot more comfortable than say like the much smaller, control layouts of like the DS or whatever, I get a little bit of carpal tunnel in my hands, and it's not pleasant. I'll just say that. Hope you liked my little commentary on the Game Boy. I'm going to be picking up very shortly with another installment where I talk about 1994's addition to the Game Boy family, the Super Game Boy. Thank you for checking this out. Thank you for spending some time with me. I'll see you next time. Take care.